Hello, everybody, and welcome to chapter number 11, Saving Investment in the Financial System. So essentially, our money chapter. When you first started this class, you might think that economics has to do everything with money, but you'll notice that we really haven't touched on this topic at all or very much over the past 10 chapters. And this is exactly the chapter where we begin to do so. So the economic analysis of money, what is money, what can it do for us, what are the functions of money, and how can we build up a market for money. So in the next few chapters, we're actually going to be tying in together a lot of business subjects. We're going to be tying in economics, accounting, and finance in the next few chapters. So when we start off this chapter, we start off pretty simple. It's kind of trivial for us to do, but it's always nice for us to get some type of foundation. We'll describe the functions of money, what money is, and how the Federal Reserve defines the money supply. We take a look at M1 and M2. With this, we're able to build up the market for money, so market for loanable funds. We touched on that previously. And then we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at the financial system in the United States. Why we're so lucky to have a stable financial system and the roles that it's going to play for you and I, and also firms and businesses. Then we get a little bit more into finance, taking a look at stocks and bonds. So we'll go into a little bit of detail about bonds, how they work, and how exactly we price bonds, and exactly how it compares to stocks. So if you want to invest in a financial asset, do you prefer bonds? Do you prefer stocks? What are the similarities and differences of each? Then we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more into your own personal finance, see exactly why you guys should be saving for retirement right now, a few of the different retirement accounts, and exactly the power of compounding interest. So something like we talked about in the rule of 70, we actually get into the time value of money. So essentially, the earlier that you start saving money for retirement, the better off you're going to be when you're older. So time in the market beats timing the market. We'll get all into that in the last half of this chapter. So we start off pretty simple and ask, what is money? So money is anything that is accepted in exchange for other goods and services or for the payment of debt. So if we can use this particular item in order for us to get a good or service, or to sort of get rid of our debt, we can consider this to be money. There's a lot of different things that we can consider money. We'll think of a few examples after we take a look at the few features and characteristics of money. Number one, its value must be easy to determine. So with this piece of item or this sort of currency that we're using as money, we have to know exactly what it is worth. So hey, we know that maybe a quarter is worth 25 cents. We know a penny is worth exactly 1 cent. But other items, we have to say, hey, we know exactly what this sort of currency or this money is going to be worth. Number two, it has to be divisible, meaning that, hey, we can go ahead and make change from this piece of currency or this piece of money, whatever we're using. Number three, it has to be durable, meaning that it doesn't go away after one usage, meaning that we can probably use it over and over again. And then finally here, it has to be widely accepted by many people, essentially that saying that, hey, even though it might not have any intrinsic value, it is going to be widely accepted for the usage of money. So fitting these characteristics and features of money, what are a few examples that can be sort of considered money? Well, typical example are going to be the bills and coins that you have in your purses or wallets. That is, of course, going to be money. We can exchange it for other goods and services. We throw it in somebody's face and say, hey, give me that good or service. And they'll say, okay, here you go. It's exactly being used for a transaction, so yes, it is considered money. But there are other things that can be considered money as well. We can say maybe some type of jewelry, some type of commodities, maybe some type of properties, paintings, so rare assets as well. You can also say, if you know a little bit about your history, so in the early times, we can say that spices were actually used as money. So cinnamon, salt, sugar, these were seen as very, very valuable commodities that we used for exchanging goods and services in the past. If you remember in the United States' history, we used seashells and sort of cowrie shells in order for us to buy pieces of New York, so Manhattan, from the Native Americans here. So yes, that was used for a transaction. We can consider those to be money, seashells. And it also sort of depends on your situation as well. So suppose that you find yourselves in jail or prison for some reason. What is generally considered money in jail? It's going to be cigarettes and cans of sardines. So here, you can exactly use those items to repay a debt or to get other goods and services. So yes, this can be considered money. So a lot of different things that we can think of that are considered to be money. And in terms of all this, we do want to hit on point number 4 here just a little bit, where it has to be widely accepted by many people. So by itself, money actually doesn't have a lot of intrinsic value. So the bill that you have in your wallet, it's really just a piece of paper. A piece of paper really doesn't have a lot of value to it. However, because it is backed by the US government, and the US government says that yes, this piece of paper is actually pretty valuable, it is it can be used for money, we give this a special name, which is called fiat money. So fiat money does not have any intrinsic value, but it's accepted as money by government decree. So if you actually go ahead and take a look at the dollar bills that you have in your wallet or purses, there's a little blurb right here. There's a little sort of quote that says, "This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private." And that's essentially just the government saying, hey, we're backing up this worthless piece of paper right here. It actually does have some type of value. And because the government says it has some type of value, we believe the citizens and individuals also believe it has some type of value as well. So it's almost like our college degrees. It's basically just a piece of paper, but people believe it has some type of value to it, so we attach some value to it with all of this. So fiat money just hitting on point number 4 a little bit more. And we also see that around the world, we hit on the idea of durable money just a little bit more. So in Australia, also in Canada, all the banknotes are made of a plastic polymer, which is a much more durable form of money than paper currency. So here, as you can see, international currency is very, very colorful. It's very, very nice looking compared to US dollars and US bills. US currency is actually really, really ugly. I really don't know why we don't change it. But as you can see, this is just hitting on the idea that currency really shouldn't go away after one use. With all of this, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at the functions of money. So what exactly can these dollar bills and coins do for us? A little bit of a trivial task for us to do, and it's something that we may not think about all too often, even if we do transactions every single day. But once again, it's going to give us a sort of good foundation for money for the rest of the chapter. So I'll see you guys in the next section where we talk about the functions of money.